Hi, I'm Brandon Grant, Marketing Director here at QuoteWerks. Today we're going to demonstrate how QuoteWerks integrates with Maximizer CRM Live. Before we begin, there's two notes we want to mention about the integration. First, the integration is included in the corporate edition of QuoteWerks only, and the second point is that integration currently only supports the Maximizer CRM Live version or the version hosted by Maximizer. Okay, so let's get started. In QuoteWerks, click on the Sold to, Shipped to tab. This will bring you to the contact window when you click on the magnifying glass. The magnifying glass will bring up the Lookup Maximizer CRM Live contact. This will let us search by name, phone, company phone, individuals, or contacts. For our example, I'm just going to click name and type in the letter B. And when I click enter or the magnifying glass on my keyboard, my search results will return. Once you've located your contact, simply highlight them, and you can double click to pull them into the Sold To fields, or you can use the corresponding buttons at the bottom here. If you click on all, that will populate the contact across all three fields. Very important when you select your contact that we're selecting the contact in the Sold To field first, and then the Ship To and Bill To. If you need to mix and match addresses or contacts and even companies, that's fine, but the Sold To is going to be kind of like the default contact for this particular document. So you want to make sure that you select the contact that you want to, one, create the opportunity for in Maximizer, and two, this is who's going to receive the document. So now that we've selected our contact, we can begin building our document in QuoteWerks. So if we click back to our Document Items tab, we can then click on our Products button here. This will show us a list of our product databases that we've set up in QuoteWerks. I already have a demo items database selected. I could do a search by description, manufacturer part number, vendor part number, even internal part numbers or keyword for items. So as I go through, I'm just going to select a couple items. If I hold Control on my keyboard, this will allow me to select multiple items at once, and then I can add them by clicking on the Select Add button. When you click on the Select Add button, the Add Item Assistant window will open, and this will show you where you can make changes to this particular item before you add it to the document. So if I want to adjust this item's quantity, maybe change the price, I can make these changes before I even add this item to the document. So we'll go ahead and we'll add this item to our document, and we'll just make a couple changes to the other items we selected and add these as well. And we'll go through, and then we have a couple more items and we'll add those to the document as well. So now that I have my items on the document, I can make any adjustments to the document as I need it. For example, if I wanted to organize my document into different sections before delivering this to the customer, I can right-click on my Document Items tab and select Insert Section Header. And then I can give my section header a name. So if I wanted to call it maybe Products, we'll type in the word Products, and then my section header will appear. If I wanted to separate it from my services that I'm selling, I can do one for services as well. And you can see here, this will actually calculate all the items below it that are in that particular section. Now I need to move some of these items around. As you can see, I have products in my services section and service in my product section, so I want to move the items around. So by holding Control as I'm left clicking, I can actually move multiple items at once and simply drag and drop them in the correct location on my document. It makes it really easy to move forward and kind of get those items exactly where I want them to appear. So now that I have my items organized on the document, I can get ready to save my changes. You'll see here it still says Untitled Quote because I haven't saved it yet. So when I click on the Save button, this is going to bring up the Save Quote As window. This is where I can name my document. By default, we're using the company that we're selling to in today's date, but you could easily change this and make any adjustments. So if you wanted to call this maybe the Gold Package, we could rename it. The document number will be assigned automatically, as well as the status of the document. However, if you'd like to change the status of the document, you can click on the ellipsis button here to make that change. The project number will be assigned automatically as well, but if you want to make changes to this particular project number, you can. And then this is what's going to trigger the integration with Maximizer CRM Live. So when I click Save, it brought up this window, and then I have the option to create or attach to an opportunity, and then also create a new link document. A new link document will basically be a shortcut or a copy of this QuoteWerks document that if you're in Maximizer and you click on it, you'll be able to launch it and open it in QuoteWerks. So I'll click OK, and then this will save my document in QuoteWerks first and assign my document number. Next, it's going to bring up the opportunity window in Maximizer CRM Live. Once the Create New Maximizer Opportunity windows opens, you'll have a couple options for making changes to the opportunity. If you'd like to link to an existing opportunity, click on the drop-down and you'll see a list of opportunities for this particular company. When you link to an existing opportunity, QuoteWerks will take ownership of that opportunity. And what that means is that we're actually going to own the opportunity, so we'll refresh it with all the information that's in your quote. For our example today, we're going to go ahead and just create a brand new opportunity. This will be the opportunity name. It's simply using the name of the QuoteWerks document. This is a default setting in QuoteWerks that you can change under the Tools Options menu, but for our purposes today, this will work just fine. And then we can set the close date. If we click on 30, that will actually bump it up 1 month or 30 days from today. So it's kind of a quick little shortcut to change the close date if we want to, or you can click on the drop down and select a specific date from the calendar. We can also set the status, so if we want to call it in progress, which I think is a good one here, we can do that. And then we can add a note or description about this opportunity. So if we wanted to type something in as easy as customer should make purchase today or this month, and then we'll hit save. This will create the opportunity in Maximizer CRM Live, and if we click on our links tab, we'll now actually have a shortcut directly to the opportunity in Maximizer. So instead of you having to go through and filter through all your opportunities, when you're in a QuoteWerks quote, if you've already created the opportunity, we can actually link directly to that opportunity by clicking on the shortcut link here. So if we click on this link, this will actually open up this opportunity in Maximizer CRM Live. If you're already logged into Maximizer, it will bring you straight to the opportunity. If you haven't logged in yet, just simply log in and then re-click on the link and then it'll bring you right there. Otherwise, you can do your normal search through the opportunities. We'll see here's our opportunity, and if we click on the details, we can see the detailed information about this opportunity. You can see the information has carried over from QuoteWerks into Maximizer CRM Live. So if we go back into QuoteWerks and we get ready to send this document to the customer, so we're going to click on deliver. We're just going to build our document by first selecting our cover page. So we want to include a cover page, maybe it's a new customer, so we'll add a cover page to our document. We'll then select the layout. The layout's going to be the output of the document, so this is what the customer is going to receive from us when we send it. So we want to make sure we select the layout. So we have our Quote Galaxy selection here, and then we also want to include a solution summary, maybe to kind of break down a little easier for the customer to see what they're purchasing. So we'll select our solution summary. And then your literature documentation would typically be your documentation such as warranty information, service contracts, maybe support agreements, anything that you send out on a regular basis you can save as a literature file. So in our example here, I'll select my support agreement. Spec sheets would be specific to line items you have on the document. So if you have any items on the document that may require some additional technical information, you can assign them as spec sheets. And then the links tab is a great resource to utilize if you have maybe like a statement of work or any other type of file that you want to include with this quote or proposal that you're building. Maybe it's like a PDF or an Excel sheet that you want to include, kind of a one-off document. You can attach it to the links tab here on the workbook. You'll see it'll show up here in the links and you can choose to include it. On my selection panel, I can reorder these so I can have them merged into a single PDF file the way I would want them to appear. So for our example, I want my cover page to print first, then my quote, then my solution summary, then my support agreement. So that's great. Okay, so let's go ahead and preview this before we send it to the customer. So we're simply going to click on preview. And that will process our document and merge it into a single document that we can deliver to the customer. So here it has our cover page, has kind of short introduction that we pulled from the notes tab, and then we have our actual layout document with the line item information and our summary here, and then we have our solution summary, which kind of breaks down what they're purchasing if anything's recurring, and then we have our support agreement, and everything is merged into that single file. You'll even see at the bottom here it says page 6 of 11, so that customer knows how many pages are in the file. So for delivery, we have two options. We can email the document to the customer. So if we click on email, that'll bring up the email window, and you'll see here we have the PDF attached to this particular document. Now if we wanted to send it via Quote Valet instead, which is the preferred method, we would actually close out of the preview and then choose Upload to Quote Valet. We're going to go ahead and upload our document to Quote Valet, and then we'll be able to preview it before we send it out to the customer. Make sure everything looks good here. So we'll see our document here. Scroll down. Okay, everything looks good. So we can close out of there, and then we can go back into the document and choose, or go back into QuoteWorks and choose send email. That'll bring up our email window. And the biggest difference between sending the PDF and using Quote Valet is you'll see there's no attachment, so you don't have to worry about it getting caught in spam. It's just going to be a link to the quote here, and when we send this out to the customer, they'll be able to click on it and open it in Quote Valet. Now, once the document has been sent to the customer, if they've made any changes or they've requested changes, you can make those adjustments in QuoteWorks. So, for instance, if they wanted to change this quantity to, we'll say 3, this one to 1, and maybe we'll say they wanted 4 of these, we can make those adjustments. Now in QuoteWorks, we need to save those changes, so we can click on revision. This is an easy way to track your revisions. We can delete the previous one so we don't need it and click OK. And then what this will do is we'll actually add a -01 to our document number, and then we can resend it to the customer. Now when we click on deliver and we want to re-upload it to Quote Valet will say, hey, this document hasn't been saved since you've made changes, so we'll hit yes, and then this will give us the opportunity to update that Maximizer CRM Live opportunity with the changes. So this way your opportunity in Maximizer always stays in sync with the quote that you're sending from QuoteWorks. And here, unless I want to make a change to the close date or the status or add in another note about this particular opportunity, I don't need to make any changes, simply need to hit save so it updates the opportunity in Maximizer. And then we can re-upload it to Quote Valet, and then we could simply resend it out. So the customer's happy with the changes, they've reviewed it, they're ready to move forward. So we're going to go ahead and click File, Convert to Order. It's how we update a quote as one in QuoteWorks. And when we do that, you'll see here it says convert this quote to an order. Hit OK. And this will bring up the opportunity window in QuoteWorks. And here you'll see the first thing is the close date will be set to, in this case, today, where we've actually set the close date to today, and the status set as 1, and then we can click Save, and that'll update the opportunity in Maximizer CRM Live. And that's it. We've now completed the process of creating the opportunity, updating it with any changes, and then converting it to 1 once the customer has signed off on the document. In closing, the QuoteWorks integration with Maximizer CRM Live is very easy to use and will allow you to create and update opportunities in Maximizer. When a quote is won, you'll be able to close that opportunity and mark it as won in Maximizer CRM Live. We also have the ability to search and pull contacts into QuoteWorks from Maximizer, and you'll also have the option to create the QuoteWorks document as an attachment in the opportunity as a nice little shortcut to be able to quickly open and view that document in QuoteWorks from Maximizer. For more information, please visit the QuoteWorks help file. Thanks for watching.